All right, guys, here we are to discuss episode 7 of the Santa Clarita diet.
Of the Carlitos Way diet.
Oh.
Yeah. So when we last left, last episode, that we left it to come here to this episode, Dan had been hit in the head with a shovel.
Yep, so Dan was, potentially dead, knocked out with a shovel, what have you. He is dead.
Fucking dead as fuck.
He's dead as fuck. And there was some great, mold of Dan dummy made
Big
because
ol'
they
floppy
threw Dan,
Dan.
over the fucking wall, and he just crumpled and just flopped onto his head. Like, it was wonderful.
It was fabulous.
So that was pretty great.
Right. So he flops over the thing.
They bring him into the house, try to smuggle him out to the storage unit in a trunk, but the trunk breaks.
I like this. So they sort of went to their go-to, like, we've had this plan before. We got the dolly, we got the trunk, don't worry. We'll do this, honey. No, honey, I think we should do that. Okay. And then it goes to shit. Immediately falls apart.
Pretty much.
Dan is missing. There's a million cops. The neighbor's like, holy
shit. The neighbor comes over.
Everything's horrible.
To let him know that Dan is missing, and Dan's just, laying on the ground there behind their alcove, like, oh...
Yeah, we do the same fucking...
A series of awkward things, to get out of him realizing that there's a dead man in the house, but gives them the tip-off that, Dan is missing, the sheriff's department's looking for him.
Yeah.
Blah-de-dee, 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 blah.
He also gives hands off, hey, that guy Anton with the thing.
Yeah,
I traced him, I have his number. Whatever.
The information. But that'll be for another episode, because they have their shit is, no ducks were in a row in this episode. They had to really... handle
they actually
shit.
say, well, let's make that tomorrow's project. Ooh, right, Dan. Yes.
Yeah.
Dan, come over here. Yes. So that other sheriff, or his Dan's partner,
Dan's partner at the sheriff's department comes over, and she's like, just investigating. She goes, that's a little odd. You haven't gone to see the family. You've been neighbors for so long, whatever. You're like, well, not odd, just inconsiderate, what have you. And
they pray, which is hilarious.
Yeah, she lets them know that dogs are going to be coming by tomorrow if they don't turn up anything. And since they know they're not going to turn up anything, they know dogs are coming, and they go, well, we have to get them out of here. But with the sheriff's here and the trunk gone, what could we ever do? And, a normal person would be like, I don't know, maybe cut it up into smaller pieces and transport it to the car that way. But that's not what they do here. What do they do here? She goes, you know what? I think I got this. I could eat the whole thing in one night.
Eat the whole thing.
He's 180 pounds. I'm less than that. So we could double my weight.
Just by chewing.
She does eat a fair amount of him.
Far too much.
She ate both his legs.
Arms and legs get eaten. So that's the worst things. You'd want to eat the head, but then the later scenes wouldn't work the same or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, so is that what she reacted to at the time? You were like, what is happening here? Something like that?
Just the idea of eating this whole body is so ridiculous because there's so many other things you can do.
Yeah, and she's already demonstrated that she cannot eat an entire person, as you would expect.
But then it was that it was more like I can't eat this person. I don't have. This was under you have to eat this person or you're gonna fucking die.
Taking a challenge to get a free steak.
Yeah, this is but it of course didn't happen. How the fuck can you do that?
Exactly.
Okay.
The daughter finds Dan dead in the bathtub while they're praying downstairs.
Yes.
Funny stuff happens. Finally confronts them. You're lying to me, whatever. Oh, we're just lying to protect you, duh, blah, blah, blah. She goes to get and tells Eric, though.
Of course. Well, that's her boy.
How would you feel
if someone told me that the person I hate was
never
dead?
had to worry about Dan ever again? Yeah, we were.
And he takes it well.
Which is great, because otherwise it would have blown the whole fucking thing.
Well, I couldn't imagine a situation where it wouldn't have ended positively, because A, he, loves this girl, so whatever you tell him is going to be great. And Dan was a fucking dick, making his life miserable. So, either one of these things, it would have been fine. But together, 100%.
He was so bad that it's probably fine. And he never said, well, I love him, though. There was never any little piece of anything. It's the stepdad. It's the horrible stepdad. So, yes.
Fuck him.
It's fine that she did that, but I feel like it's a very risky move. Telling Eric about all that, but he's down with it. He goes over, does a weird sort of eulogy, talking to the dead body thing. That's good.
Yep.
Where he squares it all away, what have you.
Tells him to suck his dick.
Yes, that would only be the third or fourth worst thing I've ever seen in this tub.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a million cops over there. There's this craziness between Lisa and Anne, the partner. where like they were having an affair too.
Yeah, it appears
basically.
that this girl has an affair with everybody. She is the waitress, and she is serving everyone.
It's not about magic fingers.
Yeah,
and
very awkward.
And then immediately.
And the four of us went on vacation together. I was just
gonna say, and then immediately says when the four of us went on vacation, as if you were possibly going to not connect that. Like, holy shit.
Yeah.
So I don't know what all the praying and like why was it an impulsive maneuver to fuck the oncologist or anything. None of that now makes sense to me, but I don't care. It's
well,
like,
it was
whatever.
Impulsive because she's a lesbian.
I see. In a loveless marriage to a corrupt cop.
Yeah.
Well, these things do happen.
And that was something that you probably could have foreseen, but I didn't use it, like, using that angle as how they get out of all this. The daughter, obviously, a smart
Whole
cookie.
thing went crazy, yeah.
Yep. Asks for a flashlight, and that flashlight's because she just left it in the guy's crawl space.
I know.
You can see the light between the cracks on the wall, and then bam, you've got him for drugs, for guns, for money. Apparently, he was being blackmailed by Loki. Didn't see that coming either, mostly because he couldn't have.
I have no idea. But I know that, so that finger was just in there, I guess.
Or I guess it was in there all the time.
I don't know how they would have gotten it to put it in
there. Yeah,
they
wouldn't have had it.
I thought about that for a hot second where I'm like, wait, what? Because cops will be all over that place, and if you leave the flashlight on in there,
sure.
It even adds to that narrative of, his quiche was still in the microwave. And his
I wanted to give him
shit.
Lazy motherfucker can't make his own quiche.
Exactly. We find him, let him know. Whatever.
Uh-huh.
So there's a part where Joel is shaving Dan's leg.
Yeah,
because the hair is slowing down. That's cute.
We pull the feathers out of ducks. We don't just eat them.
And it's a weird, morbid thing, but it's a cute thing now with them to continuously have these moments together as they're exploring the death and decay of their lives and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But the main solution, the final solution there, and again, talking to the dead body, bouncing ideas off, gets the people to move on in their lives and stuff. Is well, we're going to the beach, and they smuggle out the rest of the remains. In, in the
and it worked out perfect because they already told everyone they were going to the beach, so that wasn't an unexpected thing.
We've established we're very inconsiderate.
Can I get a soda from that cooler?
No.
No, we don't drink soda. Only milk. You're bringing milk to the beach? They don't sell it there.
They don't have any there. And then it's she's like, huh. Yeah, things like that. Do those things bother you or no? Are you
the things that bother me?
Are you
more,
those are dumb enough to be fine? Or
it's not so much the dumb retorts or quips that bother me.
Yeah.
It's the fact that someone would just reach into someone's cooler and try to grab a soda.
That part
bothers me. Where I'm like, who does that?
Yeah. So it's yes. I filter those things out of my brain because I'm you just added in her can I have a soda starts to open it thing just to create a thing where he says something and then you picked a dumb thing that's so dumb that why would you make it up and then she's weird you guys are weird and inconsiderate fucking white people and then
I feel like a lot of people would be like that's not weird. It's weird because you don't know this. If I went to your cooler and I'm let me get a soda, you'd be like yeah, I've seen you before. You sodas are fine. But if a stranger just went to grab my cooler, I'd be like, are you out of your fucking mind?
A lot of these things in a lot of these shows are very weird, and they only exist. And people don't think it's weird just because you've seen it on TV so many times, but it's actually weird in real life.
So weird.
If you have a bunch of cupcakes, someone's not ooh, cupcakes, and just grabs one. On a show where there's something in the cupcakes or something happening. No, you go oh God, could I have one? Hey, they're all in these nice rows. Maybe you're bringing them somewhere. No one just ooh.
I love that. I mean, in every show, movie, there's always a pizza laying somewhere. And oh, pizza, and someone just grabs a piece of pizza. And I'm always anytime I've ever gotten a pizza with group, I'm okay, each person gets two. I'm whose pizza did you just take, you son of a bitch?
Right? That wasn't one of my slices, so we're okay. And it's what?
The first thing I said is I grabbed my next two slices at the same time.
If I can just fold that pizza in half. I'm sorry.
Yeah, fuck you, bitch.
Before we get to the last bit on the end, throughout the episode, Joel has been wigging out a little bit, and I want to talk to you about what do we think is going on with
Joel? He's having an emotional breakdown.
Is it that simple?
I think to explain it simply, he's starting to see the beauty in life because he's surrounded by so much death now.
Yeah.
His life is going to hell. I think he's longing for the good old days. This beach trip for him, I think, was a part of that, grabbing onto what you used to have, trying to remain some semblance of a family that's not just a murderous craziness because zombies, killings, deaths on the run
Life's
from the
been
law.
weird
Like
lately,
it's
most
getting very
definitely.
weird. So to have something that you could have a normal day, in a sea of shit, could really level it off for him.
Well, they're setting it up though, like, and I guess so. I'm just trained to think that everything is paranormal or weird or whatever. But it starts off with like, oh, I love the smell of coffee. What? Yeah, I don't know, something so nice. And it starts to talk his fucking shit, and then the hummingbird
Do
thing.
you
And the
think he's a
fucking,
zombie now?
I don't know what to think. I've been trained to think that everything is a thing like that on like every show that has
Well,
weird shit in it.
if it was a thing that could have happened, we know it happens like after a day. If it was sexually transmitted, they have sex constantly.
I don't know if he's a zombie necessarily. I don't know
An imp?
if I don't
An
know.
elf?
I don't know if this show is going to introduce different mythological creatures or something like that. Just part of me feels like it can't be as simple as he's having emotions, because it is very extreme, and I wonder if it's something.
I don't think it's just emotions. I think he's like snapping. I think he's
extreme emotions. Yeah, but still, I feel like I don't know. It's weird to me, but yes.
Yeah, and it could be more.
Totally possible. I just want to know if you had any theories on that or
No,
not.
just I just think this man's
Makes
like
me
is
suspicious.
pushed slightly past his breaking point, and then like the murdering of somebody has really set him off. Where he's like, oh
Yeah.
my god, how life is precious, and I just took one.
He
Oh
did
my
just commit
god,
murder.
like,
You never know when your neighbor's going to kill you with a shovel.
Yeah,
Yeah, sure.
life is fragile.
Life is fucking fragile. And cry at hummingbirds and pictures of the beach.
So earlier on in like the first episode, when they first go to the neighbor to get some advice on what's happening, he's like, are you decaying? Is anything falling off? Blah blah blah. And at the end of this episode, she's taking a bath in the same tub. They just had a dead body in that she was eating, and she like lands on pulls out a toe, and she's like, oh man, I really got to get better at
We do
this.
suck at this.
And then it like turns over, and you realize the toenail is painted. And
And
for a
then
brief
she-
second, you're like, was he like a transvestite or something? And then she
I was
lifts
not like
her
that
foot
for
out,
a
and she's
brief
like
second.
missing a toe.
I was confused for a brief second, but at no point did I think that he was a transvestite.
Uh-huh.
However, yes, fucking her toe fell off. Holy shit! And it's her pinky toe.
You don't need that one, but I need mine.
I feel like some of the toes in the middle you don't need, but you need like your big and your pinky. I feel like those are what like gets your foot.
I think the
rolling or
pinky
whatever.
is like an irrelevant toe, and like you don't need it all.
No, like there's a whole thing connected to it, but the toes in the middle like don't move separately like the pinky toe does.
I think
I have very prehensile feet.
I think the toe movement is a carryover from when we had like prehensile feet.
Yeah.
And since we don't have those anymore,
I think you really only
you don't need them.
I think you really only need the big toe.
The big toe, I think you need, but
But
people
if I-
lose that and they're fine.
If I had to pick toes to go though, big would be last, but pinky might not be first. I think pinky would be later in the rotation. I think the ring toe or the middle toe could
Based
probably
on the
go.
pinky's toes size and what I feel like it actually does for me, like my bigger toes, as I'm walking, I'm like cupping and lifting and moving the ground. The little toe is just there for the ride. It's not
just
really
like a
doing anything.
The rest just sort of form like a flipper. You could lose one, two of those in the middle. It really wouldn't cause any problems, you know?
Oh no, well I don't think
Yeah.
I think you could lose almost all of them and like you'd still be able to get around.
Oh, yeah.
We'll start with you though to test this theory
Sure.
because we know you want to lose your fingers and
I
toes.
don't want that. I
think
want the
I think
opposite
you
of
want
that. When I have extra fingers and toes,
We'll see.
if possible.
So I think the next episode prediction is going to be about him trying to track that guy down, learning more about this thing, trying to figure out the curse. I don't know if she's going to tell him she lost her toe.
I was just going to say, do you think that she
she's
hides
gonna-
it from him?
I think she's going to
and
hide
goes,
it.
holy fuck, and then something else will happen that's super worse.
Yeah.
Oh, this is so scary.
Well, because the thing on the second scroll said if you don't get the cure, you die.
Yes.
Now, I don't take that as you're already dead because if you're vomiting and you're a zombie, you're already dead in quotes. But I think if you don't get the cure, you decay and you die.
You die for real.
Yeah.
You're dead.
But we'll see if that's what actually happens.
I wonder how this is going to wrap itself up. We're
You have
looking
any
at,
more notes on this episode?
There's 3 more episodes.
Correct.
We're going to have to make sure, because the season can't end with her with like an eye patch and a peg leg, right? This has got to like resolve itself in one way or the other.
Well, if it happens slowly, if every 7 episodes she loses a tiny appendage,
toe.
I think we can survive.
I guess, but still, things are falling off. My boyfriend's back. He's deader than ever. Oh no.
Bum, 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 bum.